About self-esteem? I'm so curious.
Um, so let's just start with the introduction. Welcome to the Holistic Kids. My name is Zane.
My name is Ahmad.
And my name is Qasim.
About 1/3 of teens deal with low self-esteem.
That is a lot of kids.
Yes, that is a really big problem.
Well, today we have a perfect guest with us today. Bryana is a licensed marriage and family therapist and an infant, family, early childhood mental health specialist.
She
and a parental mental health specialist and certified, and she has a conscious parenting coaching and traditionally from Dr. Schiffel's Conscious Parent Institute.
And she is here with us today to help us with this huge problem. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we would love to know your story.
I am so glad to be here with you. And this is so fabulous that you boys are so invested in mental health. Mental health is so important, isn't it? Feeling good about ourselves, it's so important. And that we learn how to feel good about ourselves. You know, I work with a lot of children, and I've worked with children for many years now, probably going on 12 years. And I would say some of the things that I see in kids when we talk about them feeling bad about themselves, it starts with what's happening with mom and dad. It starts with how their parents are speaking to them. It starts with what's happening at school. Are they making friends at school? Are teachers, helping them? Are teachers making them feel bad about themselves? Are they feeling included? Are they feeling like they belong? Those are the things that I see children really talk about when they feel bad about themselves, when they feel like they're not good, when they feel like maybe somebody thinks something's wrong with them. And, those are the things that I do as a therapist. Children come to me and I help them learn how to feel so much better about themselves.
What exactly is esteem?
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem. Yes, I love this question. So self-esteem is how we regard ourselves, how we feel about ourselves. So underneath it is, do I trust myself? Do I believe in myself? Do I believe that others believe in me? Do I feel confident and comfortable with who I am? Or do I feel like I have to be something I'm not to make other people proud of me? And so self-esteem is really being able to be who you are and not worrying about making other people proud of you. Just being who you are and feeling good about that.
So, why did you want to go on this journey of yours and help other kids? Is there anything that
Kids or parents?
really empowered you to do this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they call therapists wounded healers. So I didn't grow up in an environment where I was supported emotionally. I grew up in environments where I was really cut down a lot. And it, made it really hard for me as a young adult. And so I wanted to work with children and parents and help them learn how to correct that and feel good with each other.
Why do you think that kids are dealing with low self-esteem?
Well, there's so many reasons. I think one of the big reasons, as I had said, what's happening in the home, child-parent connections and relationships. So that's one thing. And number two, I think a lot of today's children are really disconnected from each other. They get shuffled around activity to activity. They don't have time to just be free and explore. They have to go from, all kinds of structured activities, and there's a lot of pressure on today's children, pressure to be really, really intelligent and go to the best schools and do the most volunteering activities. And, it's a lot of pressure on kids. And so as a result, children don't get a lot of opportunity to practice building connections with each other. right? And that's a big piece of self-esteem. It's building connections with each other. It's feeling connected to a community. And I mean, I don't know what you boys think, but I notice that, a lot of children they can't even go outdoors and play freely. It all has to be organized by the adults in their lives. And this really prevents a lot of important things that need to happen in childhood.
So, what are some things you do to help the children who are going through this mental health crisis? How do you help them?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, just to clarify, it's not always a mental health crisis.
Yeah, I mean,
Right. But like depression, children who get depressed or anxiety or have social anxiety, have lots of fear about being in the world. The main things that we work on is understanding our emotions and working through fears of failure, fears of being imperfect, getting it wrong, and being bad. Right. So by teaching children about like all emotions are normal. Every emotion that you have, there's no value to it. Like anger and happiness and anxiety and fear and worry, they're all the same. There isn't one that's like better or one that I want more of, right? But we're very conditioned to think, oh, I want as much happiness as possible. And if I'm not happy, then something's wrong. No, we have to learn how to accept all of the feelings that come with being human. So that's number one. Number two, we have to deal with feeling like we've messed up. We have to learn like it's okay to mess up. When we mess up, it just gives us a new chance to try again and to learn more. And that it's actually all the messing up that teaches us how to learn. And we have to let go of being perfect. This is where that pressure comes in that I had said earlier. That pressure to like get it right and be exactly who everybody wants you to be. That is going to set us up for a lifetime of pretending. That sets us up for a lifetime of feeling like we are wearing a mask and we are hiding from ourselves. I want to see a generation of children who are so unafraid to be who they are. But we as parents, I'm a mom. I have 2 kids, probably similar in age, maybe slightly younger than you boys. But we as parents have to teach our children that it's okay to be just who you are. And I don't need you to be anybody else but who you are.
Wow, you were very wise.
Very.
Well, thank you. You are also very wise. I'm so glad to speak with you all on this level. It's wonderful.
It's our pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
Okay.
So you talked about how it starts with the parents. How
Yeah.
does the kid's self-esteem start with their parents?
So when a parent lacks esteem, when a parent is afraid of failing, when a parent feels they must be perfect, what they do, if they don't deal with those fears of being bad, what they do is then they make it the child's problem. Now, because I, as mom, I'm afraid of messing up, so I turn around and put all kinds of pressure on my kid to never mess up, creating a complex in the child of, okay, I have to get this right, because if I don't, then I might lose my parents' love. And I can't tolerate the idea of losing my parents' love. That is so overwhelming for me. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to be the good kid. And then you've got the other side. I am so tired of doing what it takes. I'm just going to be the bad kid. Both of those, like the black sheep, the bad kid, the one who makes all the mistakes, and then the good child, the one who is so perfect, who gets all the good grades, who has all the friends, and who has all the awards, both of them are struggling with self-esteem problems. So parents must do the work themselves and learn how to be confident in their own mistakes, in their own imperfections. They have to learn how to be okay with their own feelings. How many parents I work with that are just terrified of having any emotions themselves? They worry that if they have an emotion, then their child is going to be damaged. Are you boys damaged when your parents have emotions?
No.
No. Children are not damaged by parents having emotions. In fact, when you see your parents have emotions and then you see them talk through them, make sense of them, and resolve them, it teaches you to feel comfortable with emotions, doesn't it? Right. But if we pretend, us parents pretend like emotions aren't a thing, we just sweep it all under the rug, then children miss out on learning how to be with emotions, which is such a core, important part of feeling confident in yourself, just knowing how to deal with your own feelings. You know, that's what makes us unique as human beings, is that we have feelings and then we have the brain ability to make sense of our feelings. That's so unique and special. And children really need parents to teach them and model for them and show them how to do that.
So yeah, like kids, they model from their parents. Like they learn from their parents.
Brava, yes.
So if your parents do something like that's really good, then the child will learn, oh, that's good, and it's kind of like yeah, and then they will do the same thing good.
Yep,
So
monkey
the
see, monkey do.
Yeah, so the parents have to model for their children's so
Yes.
their children can grow up and be better. Good.
Correct. When the parent is a beacon of self-esteem for themselves. Well, that was I just repeated that. When a parent is a beacon for their own esteem, they teach and guide, they almost pave the way for the child's development of that. Children don't necessarily become a mirror image of their parents. Children are still their own separate people, right? Don't you boys have things that just make you you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just you, and it's nobody else, because it's just you, because you're unique and you're special and you are who you are. So we do have those qualities. But what our parents do for us is they pave the way. They show us that it is okay to have emotions. It's okay to make sense of them. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to rely on somebody when you need it. That's another esteem issue that I didn't bring up. Can I say it really quickly?
Yes.
Yes.
The fear of being a burden. Now, you guys are a little young. When you're a little bit older, I bet, maybe in like 10 years or so, this may resonate with you. Many children and young adults that I work with tell me that they're afraid to ask for help because they're afraid that if they do, that they will either get in trouble or no one will actually show up for them, that they'll just be left to do it on their own. And when we're really building esteem, when we're really feeling good about ourselves, we learn this very important thing: relying on others to help us. That's not a weakness. That is a strength. Because as human beings, we are much better in community. We are much better with each other. We are better together. And that's an important learning that parents need to model and children need to, take on for themselves.
You're absolutely right. Most kids want to keep their parents happy. So we also notice a lot of negative self-talk, especially when they are like comparing themselves to everyone else, especially when in social media.
Yes.
So where can people start to build self-esteem?
So I'm so glad that you brought up social media, because that is just another, social media is just so challenging because it's designed to make you compare yourself to what other people are doing, and then to feel inadequate or like you're not enough in response to that. But the issue with social media is that we only see what people want us to see. We don't show the truth on social media. Yesterday I wrecked my car. I backed into my garage, didn't know that the garage door wasn't open. I wrecked my car. I didn't go and put that up on social media. No, I'm going to put up a smiley face and act like everything in my life is great, because that is what social media is. So what parents must do for children and what children must learn is how to be conscious consumers of social media. What that means is how to actually look at social media for what it is. Only the best of the best, the highlights of somebody's life, but not the full story. And where we can build our self-esteem for children who are older is in resisting the urge to compare and instead practicing celebrating what people have, not from a place of what I don't have, which I know is hard. Listen, I remember seeing the kids that had more money than I did growing up wearing the coolest shoes at school, wearing the new jeans and the cool jackets. And like, I wanted to be them. I wanted to have that, right? And it was the comparing of that kept me down, kept me feeling bad about myself, instead of what I think we can learn to do, which is to appreciate what we do have, celebrate what makes us us, and not be as concerned with what's going on with other people. I know it's hard. It's part of development though, right? This is part of it. I'm 37 years old. So I've learned this in life. I think it's phenomenal that you guys are wrapping your heads around this now. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And again, you are very, very wise.
We talk a lot about gratitude on this podcast.
Good.
Can gratitude practice help build a person's self-esteem?
Gratitude practices are incredibly important for building self-esteem, but particularly because a gratitude practice helps to cultivate compassion. And when you have a practice of gratitude and compassion, so compassion is being okay with suffering, accepting suffering, and gratitude is being in the feeling of like the presence of what brings us joy and pleasure. So being able to have both of those together, that is another element that I think can also support self-esteem.
Wow, that's incredible. And so,
What can kids do to help?
where can kids help themselves and develop their self-esteem today?
Yes. Well, the first step is going to be your emotions. When you are feeling strongly, especially, let's start with when we're feeling strongly. You're going to stop yourself. Okay. And you're going to ask, what is this feeling in my body? What is it? Can we name it? Okay. If we can't name it, find a picture of it and point to that picture. That's what I'm feeling. Number 2, I want you to figure out, where do you feel this in your body? Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel it in your head? Do you feel it in your hands? Do you feel it in your jaw? Feel it in your feet? You squeezing your butt? Where do you feel it in your body? Okay. And then I want you to figure out, what is the sensation in your body? So if it's in your heart, is your heart pounding? If it's in your belly, does your belly kind of feel sick? If it's all over, does it feel heavy and sad? Right? What is it? Where is it? How is it? And then the 4th, what does it make you want to do? And what can we do differently instead? Now, let's put this into an example. Let's say Well, you guys know this. If you guys hit your brother, that doesn't make you feel very good about yourself, right?
Yeah.
Afterward, you don't feel too good. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to interrupt this habit of making ourselves feel worse. So I'm angry. Where do I feel my anger? In my hands. And what does it feel like? Oh, they feel heavy. They feel tight. They feel like a rock. And what does it make me want to do? It makes me want to punch. Makes me want to hit. What can I do instead? I can say, brother, I don't like that.
Brother, I don't like that.
There you go. So now we're protecting self-esteem because you're not acting out, making yourself feel worse. In fact, you will feel more confident that you have communicated in a healthy way to brother what's happening inside. And then you and brother can have a dialogue. Brother can say, what's the matter? What did I do? Or maybe he'll say back, well, you took my toy. And then the next step is, so how can we solve this problem together? We have a problem. Let's find a solution. Did you know that? That working together to find solutions helps you to feel more confident about yourself? Way more confident than getting angry at each other, slamming doors at each other, poking at each other, getting revenge on each other later. Well, I'm gonna get him back when mom's not looking. None of that. That's not going to raise our self-esteem, but doing these things will.
We love this. Where can people learn more about you and your work?
Thank you. I am so grateful for you guys. Well, parents can follow me at Conscious Mommy on Instagram and all the other major social medias, but I have an online community for parents that are invested in this kind of work, and you can learn about that at consciousmommy.com.
Wow. So you are incredibly empowering. Everyone, make sure to follow Dr. Bryana on social media. Thank you so much, Dr. Bryana. Let's recap Dr. Bryana's key points.
And just so we're aware, I'm just Ms. Bryana works. I'm not technically a doctor. Just Miss Bryana's good. Miss Bree, actually.
Miss Bree, okay. Yeah. Okay, Miss Bree. So all emotions are normal. We just need to accept all emotions. That is what makes us human. All humans have emotions. If we mess up, that actually helps us to learn. We have to let go of being perfect. Perfect is impossible. It's just a word. You don't need to make everyone happy. We need to see a generation of kids to not be afraid of who you are.
Yep.
All parents need to do is work with themselves. Parents need to be okay with their own feelings, emotions. Parents need to model self-esteem and pave the way for the child's development.
With social media, we only show people that what we want them to see. We must learn to look at social media for what it is for. Gratitude helps a cultivate compassion. Compassion is being okay with suffering.
When you feel strongly, stop yourself. Ask yourself, what is this? What is this pain? How does it feel? And then what does it make you want to do? What can we do differently instead?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, kids, we need a community where we are better together.
Yes.
Everywhere else in nature, there's a pack, a flock. They all work with each other.
Yes.
So why are humans so different? We're really not. We have to also work together.
Yep.
So thank you so much for your wisdom and time today.
So much.
Thank you, boys. Thank you for your wisdom as well. And I am just so grateful to have spent this time with you.
So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Zansari.
I'm Imad.
And I'm Carson.
Follow and find me on social media, Holistic Mom D, and look out for my mom's book. She's working on her 8th right now, and we are working on her 1st. So exciting. So stay tuned. Kids need to learn from other kids. Please download our podcast and iTunes and leave reviews so other kids and families can benefit. We need to work together to create a healthy future for all of us and the planet. Join us next week for another episode of the Holistic Kid Show, where kids are empowering kids. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.